This episode is brought to you by Principles. Ray Dalio, legendary investor and New York Times best-selling author, wants to pass along his understanding of how countries go broke, because he believes the U.S. budget and debt situation needs to be addressed. To give you that knowledge, he has put the draft of his book, How Countries Go Broke, The Big Cycle, online for free. It's available now at economicprinciples.org.
Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Police responded to a 911 call.
Dramatic video of gun insanity in the Bronx.
Police releasing a new video of a person that they are still trying to track down.
Defund the police is not the answer.
Many people surveyed said they just don't feel safe in the city.
It's a shooting outside of a store.
This is Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast.
Police this morning are searching for the person who turned this Harlem platform to a crime scene.
A Red Apple Media Podcast Network production. Now, here's Bo Dietl.
Welcome to Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast. Today we were going a little bit off script. We got one of the people that has been helping me with my acting career in some of the greatest movies that have been made in the last 10 years, 15 years, and he's helped me tremendously. Besides that, he's like my best friend, lives in Staten Island, big financing guy. He finances all kinds of things. But more important is we're in the movie business and we love movies. And this is my friend, Vinny Maritato. Welcome to the show, Vinny.
Thank you, Bo. It's an honor to be here, my buddy.
So let's talk a little bit about, you've been very helpful for me in my movie career. And we could start about how it all started, too. And I think that's very interesting because everyone said, Bo, how'd you get into the movies? How'd you get into TV series and all that? And I think we can start at Rayo's, I think, is probably the most definitive reason. What do you think?
I think that's the perfect start. I mean, so I think people would be interested who don't know how you started how you got the table at Rayo's in the beginning and how that led into acting and everything.
Well, what it was all about was Frankie. He was the other owner. Frankie passed away. So he gave me the original table back in 1977. It's the front table. I had it made big for 10 people with Jack Welch and Ken Langone and all these people. We had to fit in there. And so when Nick Pileggi wrote the article about me, cover story New York Magazine in 1985, I believe it was 1985, he mentioned about me having a table at Rayo's. So everybody started calling me up. They wanted to get up to Rayo's. I thought it was about me. It was about the table. But let's cut right to the movie stuff because one of the biggest things that occurred was the movie Goodfellas. The original book that Nick Pileggi wrote was called Wise Guy, and that turned into Goodfellas. And I'll never forget, Vinny, we had a dinner at Rayo's. Nick Pileggi asked me, could Martin Scorsese come up? Ellen Lewis, the casting director. You had Ray Liotta, God rest his soul, and Lorraine Bracco, and the film editor of his, and Marty Scorsese, of course, with Nick Pileggi. And I'll never forget, Marty's a quiet guy. You've met him. You've been involved with a lot of movies with me, with him. Very quiet guy. But he looks up with his little eyes. He's looking around. We used to have the bar, Petey Neck, Johnny Roast Beef, Mikey Black. All these characters were around the bar. It used to be a different scene at Rayo's. So then all of a sudden, he looks up and he goes, Bo, can we come back here next week, next Thursday? Anybody who wants to be in this movie, tell them to show up. So we come back the next, and we casted 18 people there, 18 people. We casted 18 people out of Rayo's. Like I said, Petey Neck, Johnny Roast Beef, Frankie, Tony Lip. Tony used to run the Copacabana. He did the Green Book. He was in it. Yep. And myself, obviously. And we casted those people. So that was like really the beginning. Now everyone knew that we we casted these people out there. And then fast forward, the other little creep, the Wolf of Wall Street, I used to bring him up to Rayo's, the little scumbag, Jordan Belfort, bad guy. I don't like the guy. He robbed about $220 million from all these old Jewish people in North Shore. So now he has me in his book because I protected him. Dick Grasso called me up. Oh, you got to help this guy out. The wise guys were going to take him for a little trip, a one-way trip.
Right.
And then basically I helped him. I protected him, and I put all security on him. And I used to bring him up there. I'll never forget. Bad guy with the Quaaludes. One day he actually fell asleep in his macaroni. I had a guy pick him up. One of my guys wiped his face off and got him the hell out of the restaurant. But it's just funny that I'm in his book. He put me in his book throughout his 2 books he had.
Right.
And then Marty Scorsese, I'll never forget, he calls me up. He goes, you know, Bob, we're going to do this movie, The Wolf of Wall Street, with Leonardo DiCaprio. And he goes, you know, you're throughout the book. Who are we going to get to play? I said, Marty, I'll play him myself. And then that was one of the ones that you helped me out with. And I'll never forget, before they casted me for that, we did a lot of the reading of the lines. A lot of people don't understand. To be a decent actor, you have to know what your subject is. Obviously, I was playing myself, so that was kind of easy. And then we then casted for that, and we actually filmed in Rayo's. Frankie let us film there, and you were in the show too,
yep.
in Rayo's. And so basically, like, people like to know a little bit about this stuff. Is when we do it, we learn the script, we know what it's about, and we go back and forth.
Then you could play around with it. You got to know your lines, like you always say. Once you got the lines down, then you could play with it.
Right, because a lot of people think, I want to be an actor. It's not just being an actor. It's something like, it just comes to mind. I want you to do a little something about it. Well, some of the movies I was in, you had a list, I don't even know. Some of the movies.
Oh, some of the movies, I just tell you the ones we did together. We did, like you said, Wolf of Wall Street. You did Goodfellas, obviously. Irishman, that was a good one. That was a biggie. Vinyl, the HBO show with Scorsese. And he also Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
We did that one.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know, Vinny is an authority on The Godfather. How many times did you see The Godfather?
I don't know. Maybe a couple, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, 100.
Times 100.
Okay. So, no, just to bring the people the talent that Vinny has. Vinny has a photographic memory. And there's one scene that I love when you do, I think it was The Godfather 2. And name the people and go right into it, Vinny.
Oh, so, okay. So it was The Godfather. It was Las Vegas. Mo Green, Michael, Fredo, Tom Hagen. Those 4 characters.
Those 4 characters. Now, Vinny's going to play all 4 characters. Like I said, not just with this one, Godfather 1, 2, Goodfellas, everything Vinny memorized. Go, Vinny.
Hey, everybody's here. Freddie, Tom, Mike. Mike, chef cook for you special. Dancers will kick your tongue out and your credit is good. Is my credit good enough to buy you out? The hotel, the casino. Corleone family wants to buy you out. Huh? Corleone family wants to buy me out? Nah, I buy you out. You don't buy me out. Casino loses money. Maybe we could do better. You think I'm skimming off the top, Mike? You're unlucky. You goddamn guineas really make me laugh. I do you a favor and take Freddie in when you're having a bad time. Now you want to push me out? Wait a minute. You took Freddie in because the Corleone family bankrolled your casino, because the Molinov family on the coast guaranteed his safety. Now, we're talking business. Let's talk business. Sure, Mike, let's talk business. First of all, you're all done. The Corleone family don't even have that kind of muscle anymore. The Godfather's sick, right? You're getting chased out of New York by Bozzini and the other families. What do you think is going on here? You think you could come to my hotel and take over? I talked to Bozzini. I can make a deal with him and still keep my hotel. Oh, is that why you slapped my brother around in public? That was nothing, Mike. Now, sure, Mo flies on the handle once in a while, but me and Mo, we're good friends, right, Mo? I got a business to run. I got to kick asses sometimes to make it run right. Your brother Freddie and I had a little argument, so I had to straighten him out. You straightened my brother out? He was banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. Players couldn't get a drink at the table. What's wrong with you? I leave for New York tomorrow. Think about a price. You know who I am? I'm Mo Green. I made my bones when you were going out with cheerleaders. Now, wait a minute, Mo. Wait a minute. Now, Tom, you're the consigliere. You can talk to the Don. You can explain to him. Just a minute now. The Don is semi-retired, and Mike is in charge of the family business now. You have anything to say? Say it to Michael. Mike, you don't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Mo Green like that. Fredo, you're my older brother, and I love you. But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again. Ever.
Well, this is part of the great part about you, Vinny, with your memory. And before we do any other ones, you know, the one movie that we did together, and again, I say I do it together with Vinny because some of the largest roles that I've ever had was thanks to Vinny helping me with it. And the one that comes up was The Irishman, one of the great movies.
Yeah.
And everybody was in there. And this part that I played, I actually controlled Robert De Niro and Al Pacino playing there like boss. And I'll never forget, we had about 6 or 7 scenes that we had to do and get put on camera for Martin Scorsese. So the next thing is, Vinny and I, we started reading them. We really read them. And then Ellen Lewis, she was the casting director, very big casting director. We had to go on tape for Martin Scorsese because Marty says, well, let's see if Bo could do it. So Vinny and I, we went over, we studied it pretty good. So tell them what happened when we walked in there, Vinny.
So, you know, we walk in there, it's Ellen Lewis's office, the casting lady. Great lady, by the way. What a sweetheart she is. And, you know, you said to her, she said, Bo, you ready to go today? See what you're going to do. So he says, Bo, you know, typical Bo, yeah, we're going to give it a try. But the only thing I ask is we have my boy Vinny read with me. I know you usually have your assistant do it. But me and Vinny, I think we got it down pretty good. So maybe we give it a try. What do you think? She said, sure, Bo, go ahead. The floor is yours. And then we sat down kind of just like this. And then we went through 6 scenes right through without stopping. Flawless. And
so what do? I go like this. I say, hey, Ellen, do you want me to do it again? What'd she say?
First she was like, her mouth was like half open. She's like, couldn't believe it. She goes, no, Bo, that was wonderful. She said, no need to do it over at all. And
we got the part, and I was very honored. Yeah. And again, Vinny was very instrumental, and a lot of the other movies that we've done, a couple other ones that we've done together, Vinny.
So we did, what else did we do? We did, The
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street, which you mentioned.
With Leonardo DiCaprio.
That was a great experience.
Yeah, and the remarkable guy in this whole thing as far as movies goes is Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
I mean, the way Marty works with actors, you know, you have your scripted lines. You got to know that.
Right.
And everybody, I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor. It's all about knowing what your script is because you're not going to be an actor. And as I said, I got into it when I retired from the police department. I broke my leg in half and all that. And then with the Rayos thing, that was the key. Everybody wanted to go to Rayos. And then when I started acting, I was doing it as a goof. And next thing is Maniac Cop 1, Maniac Cop 2. And I have a pretty big list of movies and TV series. And it's really great, Vinny, to see what you could do. Right? Like right now, I got 2 more scripts in there. We're going to a premiere. We're going to the premiere this next Tuesday, Wednesday in L.A., for a thing called Mob Cops. And the funny part about it is I'm playing a Jewish guy, Bert Kaplan, right? And he was the guy in true life. This is based on true story. Now, I knew the 2 detectives, Louis Eppolito and Steve Caracappa, and they were whacking people for the mob for gas pipe queso. And I'll never forget, I was doing some investigations when I retired, and I had to go visit a couple of my Italian business friends, and they were saying, I was asking them about this, and they go, you know who did it. Your old partner's there, Bo. They had a van. I'm going, what? First time I heard it. Oh. So what they were doing was they were killing people for gas pipe queso. And this movie's it's mob cops, and it's a pretty good. It took me out of my comfort zone because I play a Jewish guy, but it's probably one of the best roles that I've ever had, I think, because it was a very versatile role. And we're going and flying out to L.A. and the big premiere and all that crap. But again, when we talk about movies and we talk about some of the things that, you're in, you become very versatile on these things. And, as far as what your feelings are with these movies, Vinny, you're a movie expert.
Well, I feel that, when it comes to making movies, like you said, people think it's easy, you just get up there and, you could wing it, but you really got to know your stuff, They teach you a lot. Some people think they don't need to go to acting school. Sometimes somebody come up to me, oh, I want to get into acting. I said, all right, go to acting school. Oh, no, I don't have to do that. I'm like, okay, good luck, I say to you, because...
Well, some of the great actors didn't go to acting school. Some of them, some of them are naturals. And how I learned how to act, truly, Vinny, was I produced a few movies with Martin Bregman there, and I casted with Martin Bregman, and I watched these actors. When they would cast, you could tell the ones that were full of shit and the ones that really were actors. And, when people call me an actor, I still can't accept it, but yet, I'm just very proud of some of the work that has come out, and I look forward to continue to do it. The worst part is as you get older, your lines. And a lot of the older actors, that's their problem. They start to, as they get older, they can't remember the lines. And that's very uncomfortable, uncomfortable.
Well, you always got me when you can't remember the lines.
Oh, that's what Vinny, you've been with me. Hey, a lot of people don't know. We did the other series. It just opened part 4.
Godfather Harlem.
And I played Tommy Lucchese. And you were involved. You were in film with me a few for the segments.
The pleasure of
and we lost a lot of the guys that were in the show. What's his name there? The one from Goodfellas, the one that was eating the sausage.
Paul Savino.
Paul Savino died, and a lot of the who else?
Paul Savino and.
Well, Chaz got really sick.
Chaz left for a while,
and now Chaz is back. And then we do the Gravesend thing. That's. Right. That's a whole nother story, but you got to give the guy credit.
Yeah.
The guy raises money, and he continues to raise money, and it's a good series, but the problem is when you want to be the director, the star, the writer, you can't do everything.
It's a lot.
You got to step back and let the character developments. He's got pretty good characters in it, but you got to develop. And I tell him, I says, you're everything. He's not a matinee idol either. Will is not the handsomest guy in the world, so he tries to be a matinee idol. When he's got some really great actors in there that could carry their own, that to me would have been, if he designed it that way and directed and wrote the way he did,
right,
and then let these other characters take off, I think that would have been a better idea. What do you think?
I think so. I think, Will's a great guy, but he wears a lot of different hats.
Yeah.
And it gets overwhelming, for anybody, to produce a show, a series especially.
They're going to come out with a third series. I think he does this. He gets money, he uses it up, tries to get more money, and he continues. That's why it takes a year to do a...
It takes a lot of money and time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time and all that kind of stuff. But, Vinny, and, some of the things that, you would ask me about, tell me.
Yeah, I would like to ask you, well, first of all, I wanted to say when I said, when people ask me how to get into acting, go to acting school, and like you said, some people don't need it. And I think you're one of those people who did pretty damn good as an actor and all the accomplishments you made in acting. And I don't think you ever went to acting school, right?
No acting school.
So
I guess I was acting when I was a detective and a cop. I guess that was my acting school.
Right.
When I had to talk to people. It is. Yeah. A lot of people don't know. When you do interrogations and, what you're doing is you're acting. Because you know the answers before you ask the questions.
Right.
And it kind of copies, again, it's a lot of great cops that became actors. My friend Farino he passed away. What was his name? Dennis Farino. He was a Chicago cop. There's a lot of good cops that are actors now, and I think it comes part and parcel. If because like I said, when you're interrogating people, it's acting.
Right.
You're lying to the person. Bottom line, you're lying to the person when you're telling them, "Oh, I got a couple more witnesses. I don't even need your testimony." So then you got to substantiate it and all. So I think that was really the roots of my acting ability. Came from being a detective and all that.
And plus, you're a street guy. You grew up in Ozone Park, right? And you knew all the guys from Howard Beach.
Well, I did grow up with the real John Gotti and Scopos, and matter of fact, I was out to dinner with a few of the guys last night. And, it's just funny that my life is touched with two of the biggest movies, The Wolf of Wall Street and Goodfellas. Now, that was funny, now. When they filmed Goodfellas, Nick Pileggi wrote it.
Right.
So I was on a set all the time with him. And I actually lock up my friend Ray Liotta, God rest his soul. And it was such an interesting to watch the making of Goodfellas, which should have won the Academy Awards. It went against Dancing with Wolves or something. Hollywood. Yeah. I don't think Hollywood was ready for Goodfellas. To me, Goodfellas, Godfather's the best. Godfather 1 and 2. Right. That's hands down. I would have to put Goodfellas right in there, number 3. Departed was good, but Goodfellas I would definitely put in number 3.
One of my favorites, too, of Scorsese's is Casino. I think that was some of De Niro's best work besides Raging Bull.
You're listening to Bo Dietl's One Tough podcast. Please stay tuned with this message, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
We off? 30 seconds of carefree bliss. Oof, like wind in your hair carefree. Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree. Yes! Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree? He's on a roll now. Spit toothpaste on the faucet. You got it. You got it. Peanut butter on the light switch. Oh, spritz, spritz. Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good. Okay, we're back. Use as directed.
Support comes from ServiceNow. We're for people doing the creative work they actually want to do. That's why this ad was written and read by a real person and not AI. You know what people don't want to do? Boring, busy work. Now with AI agents built into the ServiceNow platform, you can automate millions of repetitive tasks in every corner of your business, IT, HR, and more, so your people can focus on the work that they want to do. That's putting AI agents to work for people. It's your turn. Visit ServiceNow.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Choosing a bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drink that's all flavor and just 100 calories? Easy. Choosing between creamy vanilla, double chocolate, and sea salt caramel flavors? A little harder. Try the delicious new Starbucks Frappuccino light drinks. Look for them wherever you buy groceries. Start with Starbucks coffee.
Well, Casino was good, and I was flying around then. I was I was in Italy. I was all over the place. I couldn't actually do it to get into Casino, and you make me laugh because there's that one part that you do so well, and it's with Pesci and De Niro in the desert in Casino. Whoa. Give a little, set it up.
Oh, okay, so this is when it's going towards the end of the movie where things are getting kind of crazy out in Vegas, and
now Joe Pesci's playing who?
He plays Tommy.
Right, and then the other guy, they sent the guy from...
No, I'm sorry, he plays Nicky.
So Nicky was sent out there from Chicago.
From Chicago, by the guys in the
Midwest.
Right,
and then Joe Pesci plays...
Nicky Santoro.
And what happened?
And so he hears that De Niro's complaining that...
wasn't Joe Pesci banging his wife?
He was, yeah.
And who's that actress?
Sharon Stone.
Right. He was supposed to be not getting involved, but De Niro plays like the passive one. It's and right. Pesci's the
aggressive,
the aggressive tough guy. What was the real guy's name with an S? The Italian name.
The real Nicky.
Yeah.
You got me.
He represented. I remember he represented the unions and all that kind of stuff. And he went out there. He was only the front guy, De Niro, in the thing. So when Nicky was doing it, he had me get in contact with the Rothstein.
Yeah.
So he had me get in contact. He was the guy that was putting all the odds up and all that crap. He's supposed to be the best odds maker. I'll never forget. So I'm on the phone. He knew me from Fox News and from all my crap. Next thing he goes, Nick Pileggi says, oh, he wants to talk to you. He loves you, Bo, and all that. I get him on the phone. I says, hey, give me a couple of winners here. Give me 12 winners for the football this weekend. The guy gave me 12 football teams. Vinny, 12 fucking losers.
Really?
I told the guy, I called him back, I said, do me a favor, lose my number. You couldn't pick 12 losers.
Right.
So now they were in the desert, and Joe Pesci's there with De Niro, and now the Pesci was banging De Niro's wife. But he was like, he couldn't attack him with it, even though he knew it was happening, because this guy would kill him.
Right.
Spataro.
Spataro.
Come on, Vinny.
Spataro.
Yeah, Spataro. All right, so let's do the scene. Go ahead. In the desert, the both of them.
Yeah, so this is when Pesci pulls up in the car and De Niro's there waiting for him. He gets out of the car, Pesci, and goes, who the fuck are you to go over my head fucking ordering me out of town? I got to hear shit from back home? You're ordering me out? I don't know what you're talking about, Nick. Oh, no? You said I'm bringing heat on you? You want me to get out of my own fucking town? I said let the bullshit blow over so I can run the casino. Anything goes wrong with the casino, it's my ass, not your ass. It's my ass. Well, I don't know whether you know this or not, but you only have your fucking casino because I made that possible. I'm what counts out here, not your fucking country clubs and your fucking TV shows. And what the fuck are you doing on TV anyhow? You know I get calls from back home every fucking day. They think you went batshit. I only went on TV so I could hang around the casino. You understand that. You fucking ass. You could have had the food and beverage job. You wanted to go on TV. Yeah, that's right. That's why I have a forum. People know me. I'm known. People can't fuck around with me as if I was an unknown. That's right. You're making a big fucking spectacle of yourself. Me? I wouldn't even be in this position if it wasn't for you. You brought so much heat down on me. Every time someone meets me, the big question is, do I know you? Oh, wait a minute. Now you want to blame your fucking license on me? What, Nicky, remember when you asked me if you could come out here? I knew you were going to come out no matter what I said. But you remember what I told you? Remember what I told you, Nicky? Wait a minute. Back up. Back the fuck up. When the fuck did I ever ask you for permission to come out here? Get this through your head, you motherfucker, you. You only exist out here because of me. That's the only reason. Without me, you... Personally, every fucking wise guy scale in town take a piece of your fucking Jew ass. Then where you gonna go? You're warned. Don't ever go over my head again, you motherfucker, you.
Well, I want to apologize to my listening audience. These are exact lines from the movie Casino that Vinny was repeating. So I don't want to offend anybody, but these are the exact lines, and there's no truer acting than say the exact lines. And then, you know, the last time that we were together, we were practicing. This one comes up. So Nick Pileggi wrote a fabulous script, and it was originally called Wise Guy. Then it was changed into Alto Nights. Right. The problem with this one is Martin Scorsese didn't direct it. They found this guy, Barry Levinson. He knows about wise guys like I know about fucking brain surgery. So he's there. But then they get Mr. Narcissist, who I don't like, Mr. Worry About Trump. And I tell you what, you know what, Robert De Niro, guess what? President Trump just appointed me to the Homeland Security Advisory Committee. All I know is I'm with President Trump. And you know what? You don't talk against my president. And now, all of a sudden, we started practicing. I bought that fedora. Cost me $300. I gave it to you.
Thank you for that.
And so we started getting a part, a big, great part. And we started training. I bought the suit, the glasses. Now we're going on video. Now we're really trying for this part. And I had it down. You
did.
Next thing is we send it in. Then we get word back that De Niro's running it. First of all, there was talk of Pacino playing
Oh, the other part, Genovese.
Vito Genovese. And he was going to play Frankenstein.
Right.
But Mr. Dickhead, De Niro, decides he wants to play, because he's such a narcissist, I'm playing both parts. You know what it's all about? All about money. Maybe he's got to pay Tukey, his wife there, $500 million. So he now takes both parts, and to say the least, they didn't even get good reviews. I feel bad about Nick Pileggi.
Right.
He wrote a great script. Then he cockblocks every actor that has been in any Scorsese movie, except for my friend Catherine. And the other gal. And they were in it. They're good actors. They're very good actors. But any other actor that was in any Scorsese movie, De Niro cockblocks. What was the reason behind it? A lot of guys could have used the work. It was all about him controlling it. And Barry Levinson, I'll be very honest with you, you probably won't put me in any of your movies. I don't really give a fuck. I'm a Scorsese guy, okay? And that's a real director. Yeah. And when Scorsese directs a gangster movie, a wise guy movie, that's real.
It's authentic as can be.
Yeah. So we went to the premiere, and I was very disappointed. I felt bad for one person, Nicholas Pileggi, one of the great screenwriters of all times. He had to waste this great screenplay with this piece of shit, Robert De Niro. You're a good actor, Robert De Niro, but you're not a nice person. Maybe you should spend some more time looking at your acting ability, Mr. De Niro, instead of worrying about Donald Trump. You got Trump syndrome. What do they call that?
Yeah,
Trump syndrome.
Yeah.
That's all you're worried about. So we saw the movie, got terrible reviews.
Yeah.
I think it's on video already.
Streaming already, I heard this week.
Yeah, but it's fun to do these movies. But the most important thing about doing these movies is you got to know your character. Like I'm going to be involved with a movie with some cops from Staten Island, really psycho movie. I love it. And I'm going to be involved in that. And you really got to understand, know your script. And then the other one I got is Red Card with my friend Michael Hirschman. I'm going to be in that one. It's about trafficking of young African boys from Africa, where to play. They go into these villages, and these kids are real fast, really athletic. And then what they do is they promise them a contract. It's all about trafficking these young boys to these Arab guys, and then the father fight. It's a great script, and I'm going to be involved with that. And the only problem is you can age out on some of these. You can only look so young. I mean, De Niro don't want to age out. I mean, he's 80-something years old. Next will be he's in pretty good shape, the son of a bitch. You can age out at things, or you can make it happen. I can't look like I'm still a detective. Why not?
Absolutely. Look, you're still going. You just keep going as long as the parts are coming.
I still do my 90 push-ups in one clip. What the hell?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Show me how many young guys can do that.
As long as you're with me, Vinny, we'll take on any part, and that's it.
That's it. They can't stop us.
But some of the other things that I did, you had a list there. Remind me the list.
There's one. You mentioned something to me a while ago about a part that you were supposed to be in. I think it was a crime show series, Crime Story. And I think, tell them what happened. You were supposed to play the part.
Well, hold on. Bonnie Timmerman was the casting director. I remember that.
Right. And the character's name was Tony
Scott, I think.
Tony Dio?
Tony Scott was the guy that was producing. Okay. And then Johnny Dio was the part.
Dio.
So I got the part. I was supposed to film in Las Vegas. It was 1987, and we were in the Super Bowl, the Giants. We used to go every year. So now, all of a sudden, I got the phone call. My father died. Oh. So now I'm getting a call from the producer, from the cast. Can you make it by Wednesday? Now, he died on Sunday. Can you make it here? I said, look, with all respect, I'd love to do this, but I'm burying my father on Wednesday, and there ain't no movie that is going to be more important. I mean, that's going to be it. And then all of a sudden, they had to look for another actor. So they found my little friend there, Paul Anka, was performing in Vegas, and Paul Anka was my understudy.
How about that?
Yeah. And for my 50th birthday, he had his whole orchestra in. He brought his whole orchestra in, and he only guys threw the birthday party. I think it was about $800,000 birthday at Cipriani 42nd, and he only charged me $250,000. My friend Paul Anka. Oh. Get the frig out of here! Unbelievable. But that was funny. But I tried for a lot of different parts. A lot of them the one that really hurt me was this last one with De Niro cock-blocking actors there. Maybe that movie would have been a great movie if the dickhead didn't play both parts.
I would think, and I told you this, if you would have brought Al Pacino in to play Vito Genovese.
What was he afraid of?
I don't know if he was afraid of anything.
I think it was the money. I think it's all about money. He probably got a double dildo there. You know what a double dildo is? Two whacks.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could be, I don't know, but I think that was a mistake, and I think it was a mistake not having you in there and me. I think
well, the point is, Vinny, you had a tremendous amount of really, really good actors that were, they could have used the work that was after the pandemic and all that shit.
That's right.
And this thing, I talk to Nick Pileggi all the time. I'm going to be meeting him out in L.A., and, he worked on this thing for a long, long, long time.
I know.
Now there's some, listen to this one, brand new, light up. I talked to the guys that owned the rights of One Tough Cop. Now, that movie, I was not happy with.
I know.
That was about my life. The only problem is they had me shooting 40 people, killing 40 people. Never happened.
Never.
Then they had me banging my best friend's girlfriend. That never could happen. No. It's not my DNA. So I was very unhappy. And then what happens with, all of a sudden, we casted Mark Wahlberg to play me. So Mark and I were hanging out. When I first met him, skinny kid. And the next thing is I said, man, we got to start working out because you got to be, you're little like me, but you got to have that strength. Right. And great guy. Love Mark Wahlberg. And we became very friendly. We went out to L.A. We were together doing a lot of things together, having fun. And all of a sudden, Martin Scorsese ends up firing him. Now, we had that other jerky director there, that nut job, Abel Ferrara. Screwball. He was like a junkie. Yeah. Oh. And so they had to fire him. And next thing is, Martin Bregman, I didn't do it because he always said to me, Bo, you fired me from this day. I said, Mark, I would never have fired you. It was Marty. And something about money. It was all about money. Matter of fact, they screwed me out of my $250,000 day one of production. Oh, put it on the side, we'll defer it. Yeah, they deferred it into their pocket. I never saw that either. And then all of a sudden, Marty fires Mark Wahlberg for some bullshit reason. And he tells me, well, you got to choose between this guy, Matt Dillon, and Steve Baldwin. Oh. So I really didn't know that much about either one of them. And I'll never forget, I was at the Four Seasons at 5 o'clock. We used to meet at the Four Seasons, have cocktails, cigars, second floor. Next thing, who's sitting at Stallone. So I had met with Stallone in the beginning when I retired, when Nick put me in the feature article in New York Magazine. So Stallone wanted to play the part. Pacino I met with. They all wanted to play this One Tough Cop.
Wow.
And next thing is, I go, hey, Sly, how you doing? Hey, Bo, how you doing? Yeah, I says, I got a question. I says, we're going to do the movie One Tough Cop. He goes, yeah, I could play that part. I said, Sly, you're too old for the part. Right? You got to be a young guy, all right? No disrespect.
No offense.
Fuck you, Bo. I can play the part. I said, okay. Here's what I got to choose between Matt Dillon and Stephen Baldwin. What do you think? He goes, well, Bo, Matt Dillon's like a broad that's, been around a lot. The other guy's like a virgin. Go with the virgin. That's how we casted Stephen Baldwin. So now we casted him. Next thing is Abel Ferrara gets axed. The director, I don't know, he was on a junkie binge or something, whatever the hell he was. And the next thing is they bring in Bruno Barreto from Brazil. The guy knew about wise guys like nothing. He was married to Amy Irving. That was the wife of Spielberg. So they come in there, and so now I'm with him. And I says, look, you know what, Bruno, this is about my life. And I was the executive producer with Martin Bregman. I wasn't just no dickhead in this thing. And the next thing is the first day we filmed some up in Canada, Toronto, great place, good people, and New York. We're going back and forth. And the first day of shooting, next thing is we're in a wise guy club, and I tap on his shoulder. Something didn't look right, wasn't right. I said, excuse me, Bruno. He turns around. He takes his head forward. I said, throws him off. He goes, can't you see I'm directing a fucking movie? I grabbed him. I said, I'll throw you through that fucking plate glass window. I said, you don't talk to me like that. Throws his headphones down. He ran away. And then Marty Bregman's sitting in his chair laughing. I said, what are you laughing about? He goes, we don't have a director. I said, you fucking direct the thing.
Yeah.
This guy is not going to talk to me like that. I don't give a He don't know nothing about anything. And the next thing is, I had apologized and we did the movie. It was okay. And like I said, this was not the real movie. You get the book, One Tough Cop.
Right.
The first 90 pages about this great investigation that Tom Collar and I broke against we had 200 detectives that were assigned to it. It was one of the greatest investigations of all time. Now, I'm meeting with Michael Mendelsohn. He owns the rights. We are talking about it. Nick is going to maybe step up and write the script.
To a remake.
Now, it doesn't have to be One Tough Cop. It could be the real Bo Dietl story.
Right.
That would be a great movie. It's not politically timing now, like when I hold a guy off the roof by his ankles.
Right.
Remember, Vinny, I never killed nobody. So the other movie had me killing 40 people.
Right.
Put it this way. When they raped and sodomized, it was labeled as the most heinous crime in New York history by Ed Koch, the mayor. They raped, sodomized, they carved 27 crosses, they put a broom in there, they urinated on, left her for dead. When these guys did that to her, they weren't playing by any rules. And this story is one of the great investigative story of Sixth Sense, how that you work with your sixth sense and you have a feeling. And if that comes true on this movie, it'd be one of the great movies. Yeah, I did, put it this way. The guy, I was up for 4 days, and I'll be honest with you, statute of limitations is over. The guy told me to F my mother. And I was up for 4 days. And I said to him, now I remember, I said, you don't know my mommy. What do you want to talk like that? He goes, go F your mother. I was up for 4 days. My right fist cocked out, and I broke his jaw. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Guilty as charged.
Oh.
Statute of limitations. Remember, Vinny? I killed nobody.
Right.
If I knew I had the right guys that raped this nun, I got the one guy off the fire escape. Maybe I would have had God's will, but wasn't to be.
Right.
I was a good cop. I was a good detective. And I just, you're up for 4 days. The guy tells to go do something with your mother.
Nah.
What if they said it to you about your mom?
All bets are off at that point.
So that's what I'm going to be going out to L.A., and we're going to see if we can bring this thing back to fruition. And then, like I said, Mob Cops, great movie, and it's coming up. And basically, Vinny, some of these things. What are the things that I do there, Vinny?
There's a lot of things here, my buddy. Let's see. We got you doing.
All right.
We did.
We did. I think we did enough. But Vinny, all I know is I want to thank you for coming on the show and bringing people into the world of movies and all that, because people are interested in this stuff, and maybe one day people will want to get into the movies, and I really thank you for coming, Vinny.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for a great ride over the last 15 years. We've been rocking and rolling.
There's more to come, Vinny.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, remember, tell your friends about it. Tune in to Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast. Thank you, and have a great week.